Can I still get a deal in this market, in today's market? Hope you're having a great Monday. We're here at Chris's Corner going live every Monday. It's the last Monday of July, and we're gonna get into August and the fall weather and the winter. I'm a little sad about that. I love the summer. I love the spring. I'm not a big fall and winter person, so we'll see how it ends up going. So, can I still get a deal in this market? A lot of buyers that I talk to, they have this concept of when you buy a house, you have to you have to haggle, you have to get a deal, you have to try to negotiate as much as you can up front. And a lot of buyers are in the mindset of, okay, I see this house in the market for 250. The sellers probably are asking, they're probably asking for a high amount of what they think the house is worth. So let me offer 235. And realistically, what's happening in this market, now I'm not going to say what you should or shouldn't do. I'm going to say what normally works and what doesn't work, and what situations you can get a deal and what situations you can't, or typically don't work in this market. The times where it typically won't work, where you try to haggle or negotiate or get a deal in this market, is when the house is brand new, right? If you remember back in high school, or even now if you're working and there's a new kid in school or a new person that comes in at work, everybody's always curious. Everybody wants to know about this person, who they are, where they're from, what they're about, what's going to happen. Everybody's always curious. They have everybody's attention. And it's the same thing with a brand new house. When a new house comes on the market, everybody's curious, wanting to know more about it, wanting to look at it, wanting to take a peek at the house. And in this market, that usually translates into multiple offers. Now, that doesn't happen all the time. I'm starting to see more and more houses sit on the market for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Crazy, right? It's in this market, houses go in days. So seeing a house sit for a few weeks, people think is crazy. When typically nothing's wrong with the house, it's just not priced correctly, is what I'm seeing at least. And so when you see a house that's brand new, typically it's going to get multiple offers. Typically, you're likely not going to be able to negotiate or haggle right off the bat because it has all that attention being brand new. Now, that doesn't mean if you like the house, that doesn't mean you have to offer more, offer lift. You have to offer what you think what you're comfortable with, right? Sometimes a house comes on the market for 500 and the other neighbors are selling, or the neighbors are selling for 500. This house comes on the market for 550. You don't have to offer 550. It might not get 550. Even in this competitive market, people see that and they don't just give what the sellers want all the time. We don't see that. So you still offer what you're comfortable with, still offer what's reasonable for you and your budget and what you're happy with at the end of the day. So, in times when you can't really negotiate or when it won't really work, is what I should say. When it won't really work negotiating is when a new house hits the market. Now, when negotiating, when will it work? When can I get a deal for a house in the market? Like when you see a house sit 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, typically when you see a house sit that long, a lot of people get worried, like something must be wrong with the house. A lot of times it's just price. A lot of times the sellers were asking for a high price because they think they get to dictate everything in this market because it is a seller's market to a point, right? So a lot of times these houses sit on the market for a few weeks. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just not priced correctly or they're not priced reasonably. Those times you can go in, negotiate, you can try to get a deal, you can try to haggle with the sellers and try to see what works for you, what price works for you on these specific houses. So that's what I tell people. When you see houses that are brand new, that just come on, don't expect to negotiate and win. You can still try to haggle, you can still try to negotiate. You might not get a response. You might only have one shot at it before they choose somebody else. Typically, when a brand new house hits the market, you normally get one shot at getting the house if it's priced correctly. If it's not, let it sit for a while, offer what you think you're comfortable with, and let's see what happens. So hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions on what's going on in this market, what's going on in this environment, what it's like buying a house, what it's like competing, what it's like winning, send me a message and I'll be happy to answer any concerns or questions you have on what it's like in this housing market since it's changing every year. This year luckily has been consistent, but from year to year You've needed it's been a variety of ways to win a property, win a house. So if you have any questions on what it's like today, send me a message and I'll be happy to answer it. Otherwise, hope you have a great week. Hopefully you enjoy the last day of July and hopefully you enjoy the day.